11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Canelo won it. Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
What's going on, everybody? D-Style here. I was on mute there. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, hit that like button. If you're watching on the archive, share this on all your social media platforms, your Twitter, your Instagram stories, your TikToks, or your Facebooks and Facebook groups and all that good stuff. It'll be much appreciated if you could share this. All right, hit that like button. 100 likes every video. Every time you hit it, we're that much closer. I appreciate everybody watching on X as well. Okay. And that's as much as I have to say right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this started. So much to say, so much to get to. And I know what's on a lot of people's minds, Steve. And we're going to get to all of it, or as much of it as possible. Look. First, the press conference. Look, I take press conferences for what they are. I don't analyze them too much. I just don't. I saw a lot of people say that the press conference was boring and that they wanted more. They wanted some drama. They wanted, I don't know. They wanted some trash talk, I guess. They wanted more tense moments. It was just boring. I was bored watching it, and too much. Look. I'm not necessarily saying I think it was the greatest press conference of all time. I'm not necessarily saying that, but what I am saying is that press conferences are what they are. Like, we can't ask Mungia to change his demeanor just because you want to be entertained, because that's called being fake. Is what it's called, right? No one is watching this fight because both guys are going to trash talk, or no one is interested in this fight because both guys are shoving and pushing each other at the weigh-in and whatever it is you guys want to see. My issue wasn't even a matter of entertainment. I think and this is not just PBC, but all these promotional companies do a better job getting better interpreters. That there's actually professional interpreters out there. If you want to show that you respect the Spanish-speaking audience, then at least get a better interpreter. No, and this is no shade at the guys interpreting. I'm not even saying they're doing okay if they were interpreting like you meeting somebody and they're interpreting for you. But it's not professional. And what I mean by that is like accurate and to the point, and I get you also want, you don't want an interpreter that's maybe, you want one that could kind of match the energy of the fighter or whatever. I get it, right? But I'm sure you could find one. All right, they exist. You don't hire. Do you hire you don't hire me to go sing the national anthem, right? Oh, say, can you see? You're not gonna hire me, all right? Like, people are gonna be booing shit, wondering what the fuck you doing. They're like, well, that's what it's like when you get an amateur ass dude. You just gotta do like, hey, who speaks Spanish? You, yeah, you. Okay, you translate. Or what? What are we doing here, right? Come on. That's number one. And I noticed at the very end, I don't know how much of you guys watched the Azteca portion of it. It was the very end. Canelo just ignored the interpreter, so did the Azteca guy, and they wrapped it up. We didn't get an interpretation at the very end for what Canelo said and what the Azteca guy finished with. I just think the whole thing was just I don't know. You got to do better than that. It's my opinion. Okay. That's one thing. Another thing is the look. I personally don't mind the theme, right? I don't, right? I don't mind this is a gentleman's sport and we're going to do our talking in the ring. And, we respect each other, but, we got to take care of business in the ring. I'm going to come with everything to win. I'm sure you are too. Let's get on the ring. I don't mind that theme. That's just me. I don't need, okay, like shoving and weirdos talking like Ryan Garcia. I just don't need any of that. I don't need dads talking shit to each other. I don't need tables thrown. I just don't need water bottles thrown. I just don't need any of that. That's just me. All right. I just think two professionals, all right, getting ready for action is good enough for me. Right. There's nothing wrong with both guys showing respect if they actually respect each other. If you want people to act fake and give you entertainment at the press conferences and act that way because you want to get your popcorn out or you want to be entertained, there is a thing called pro wrestling. You could go watch that, right? You could watch The Rock, shred somebody on the mic. You could watch, Cody Rhodes talk shit on the mic, and you could watch Triple H talk shit. Whoever, right? Like I don't Triple H isn't wrestling no more, but you can get that over there. You can get all that. You can literally get it with another product. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with some organic, real beef, some organic, real trash talk. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But it needs to be organic. That's not Mungia. You guys want Mungia to act like somebody he's not. And he set the tone, right, for how the fighters acted by showing Canelo respects, and he always looked up to Canelo, and now he understands Canelo's the face of boxing, but he's trying to be the face of boxing, and he wants to go ahead and take that throne. He's going to come with everything to try to beat Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo just kind of matched that energy, and we have what we have. We just had two gentlemen in a gentleman's sport having mutual respect. But if you think for a second that Jaime Mungia is going to show up, right, and not fight or show Canelo too much respect in the ring, then you have another thing coming. Jaime Mungia is going to come to fight, I think, like he always does. I'm just saying. All right. So speaking of people that were complaining, because there were several Rich Banks, you know what I mean? I'm not even complaining. I'm talking about the people that were complaining. If you're going to disagree with something I say, make sure it's actually something I said. I literally said, there's nothing. I like the press conference for what it was. Okay, that's me. With that said, they are going to, I think the fight itself is what's going to sell. And I believe this fight's going to do very well. And I think it's going to be another example that we don't need shenanigans at the weigh-ins and at the press conferences and to sell the fight. I just think that's a lot of horseshit. If you have a fight people like, people will come to watch it. Okay? Chicano Prophet said it. Desperate content creators wanted more. I agree. Right? They wanted something for their clicks. They wanted something for their shorts. And I guess two gentlemen representing a gentleman's sport isn't good enough, right? You need the trash talk. You need the back and forth, right? So right now, both guys, they showed mutual respect, and De La Hoya went up there and just kissed Canelo's ass, right? Oh, Canelo, he's like this and that. Like I forgot all the things he said, and Mungia's gonna come with everything, and then all good stuff. But just kissing Canelo, like the whole time, right? But then speaking of people that didn't like it, he goes on social media today, and he says, "Oh, what this press conference was as boring as Canelo's fight. wait till I unleash. Oscar, the press conference is over. Why don't you tell Canelo right there that his fights are boring? Why don't you say, hey, Canelo, you know what? You've been in some boring ass fights. You're a boring ass fighter. And Jaime Mungia is here to change that. We need a guy who's in exciting fights, and we need a Jaime Mungia as the face of boxing, as the face of Mexican boxing, and he's going to knock you out May 4th, Canelo. Why don't you say that then? I didn't hear anything about it, right? But you go over there. You go to Twitter, to X, to tweet about it when the dude he was literally right there. Now, before I continue, I know somebody might say, "Hey, you were talking shit about Jermell being respectful at the press conference, and what was up with that?" All right, context, ladies and gentlemen, because Jermell was talking a lot of shit on Instagram and on his Instagram live, and calling him bitch Nello, and I'd fuck him up, and as soon as the fight was signed and he was in front of Canelo, he had a different energy. It was like 70 degrees, and the dude had like a big fur coat on because he felt the chills when he was next to Canelo. He felt the chills, Holmes. He felt the chills. Ooh. When he was standing next to Canelo. Just like De La Hoya, because De La Hoya was given the mic in English and Spanish and didn't say any of that stuff. He kissed Canelo's ass during that time. So, very interesting. Well, Mungia's always been a respectful guy. Mungia is not Mungia's character to talk shit or trash. He's always been respectful of Canelo. And so he's just acting the way he always acts when it comes to Canelo. So that's the difference. Before some smart ass comes on here and says, "Was you different?" Shut up. All right? With that said, the press conference was the press conference. May 4th, it's going to come. Maybe the closer the fight gets, the more excited I'll get. I like the fight. I don't think it's a bad fight, right? It's a good fight. I just predict that Canelo's going to destroy him. That's just a prediction, right? It might end up being a fight of your candidate. I don't know. Maybe Canelo's age and wear and tear is wearing thin. Maybe it is going to be a tougher fight than people expect. But I just think Canelo's style is all wrong for the very game Mungia was going to bring all his heart, all his might, and win, lose, or draw, Mungia will be a winner after this fight. Because Mungia is willing to go out on a shield. Mungia will bring the fight. There's no doubt in my mind that he will. And I predict Canelo will win the fight, but Mungia will win the hearts and minds of the people. And I think after this, people will still watch Mungia. After this, people will still want to see Mungia because he's a warrior. And the more we see guys come out and actually fight, and even in a loss, if we reward them by continuing to watch them, then we're going to get guys that actually show up to fight and not prance around the ring and avoid fighting like Jermell did against Canelo Alvarez. Okay? I just want to go ahead and put that out there. By the way, let me give a shout out to everybody from Lisa Bales, Eric Gomez, Adam Hurley. How are you all doing? Chicano Prophet in the building. Team Batman Boxing on here as well. Bruce Goss, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Tony Boswell on here as well. Good to see you, brother. Much respect to Style Boxing in the chat. Stop and show support and hit the like button. Just got off work, driving home and listening. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, brother. Good to have you on here. Eric Gomez in the building. I believe I mentioned Abraham Boxing. If I didn't, well, I did it again. We have Rich Banks on here as well. Look, and everyone listening on X, it doesn't show me who's watching on X, so I apologize, but shout out to you guys as well, right? And And if you want to come on YouTube, you can go to D-Style Boxing on YouTube. The link is in my bio as well through the link tree, and you can go to and subscribe to the channel and tune in and join in the chat over here as well. That's always an option as well. Lance Mayer, how's it going? Lee Groves in the building. How's it going, Lee Groves? Shout out to Lee. He was on the roundtable last week, and it was good to have him. Shout out to him. Check out a show with Smitty and all that. All right. I need to have a conversation with a lot of y'all. Like we need to have a conversation here. The drama that people wanted didn't happen in the press conference. It happened in the post. By the way, really quick, I don't know why they call it press conference if the press doesn't get to ask questions. At least during the press conference. Like, I get to ask questions afterwards, so I guess it's still a press conference, but whatever, right? Canelo is asked, I believe it was by Fight Hub. I could be wrong, but I think it was like different reports around anyway. But he was asked about Benavidez if he ever actually made the offer $5 million. First of all, he denied. He said, no, we never sent an offer. An offer was not made. Which is good. I guess it's good to get clarification and all that. And then, and this is where I think a lot of you may not like me. But it is what it is. I'm a straight shooter, and I give my opinion all the time. I'm going to be very honest right now. Very honest. That was not a good look for Canelo. I'm just going to put that out there. And in terms of what he said specifically, right? Saying, and I'm going to go over the context and all that, but like him saying 150 million, 2 million, I'll fight him tomorrow. Well, duh, right? I mean, who wouldn't pick a fight for that amount tomorrow? But like, I think everybody reading this will get in the ring with David for 150 million, 200 million tomorrow. We'll probably get our ass kicked, but we'll take a beating. But you know what I mean? But we'll take that money. I mean, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but what does he mean by that? It's just not a good look when he's saying things like David brings nothing to the table. He does nothing for me. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I could fight whoever he didn't say I could fight whoever I want, but that's basically what he's saying. And look, and I'm not delusional, man. I understand that Saul Canelo is the face of boxing. I understand he's the torchbearer currently of Mexican boxing. Canelo is my favorite fighter right now. He's been great for the sport. He has the best resume in boxing. He's accomplished more than any active fighter today. He's been world champion at 154, 160, 168, 175. That's and he was unified in multiple of them, and he's undisputed at 168 pounds. So it's not. I get it that he's in a position of power, and he holds all the ships, and things are like. Of course, he runs the show. Of course, he calls the shots. That's not even debatable. Like you know what I mean? Like that's without debate. That's why I've said that if Canelo says, "Yeah, you're going to find me on this network," that's where you go. I understand that David Benavidez' team is not in a position to dictate, right, where it happens, when it. I get all that. I'm not stupid. I get it, right? I just feel like it was the way he put it. First of all, it's a PR nightmare, all right? And maybe he doesn't even give a shit. It's possible Canelo's reached a point where he doesn't give a fuck, right? Because here's the reality, right? Because other things he said were like, I remember Golovkin and you guys said the same thing and you're still not happy. An argument could be made that if he does fight Benavidez and beats him, it's going to be somebody else, right? It's going to be Darrell, not Darrell. What am I talking? Darrell, Morrell. It'll be Morrell. If it's not Morrell, it'll be somebody else. There's always going to be a new dude that Canelo's avoiding and all that. I also understand that this narrative that Canelo's been avoiding David for years is false and stupid, and I'm sure it's frustrating for Canelo, right? But at the same time, that's part of the game, right? That's part of the deal. When you're the face of boxing, that comes with the territory, right? I feel Canelo team Canelo, Reynoso being the manager, haven't done the best job PR wise, clearing the air about things, staying silent. Because if you let a lie spread out, it's going to go halfway around the world within 24 hours. You bet. And today with social media, it goes around the world multiple times, right? Before you come out and say something. So I am not in any way, shape, or form on here, right? Like intentionally at all to trying to just criticize Canelo here, but I have to criticize him a little bit here. And some of the fans I've seen. Now you have a right to your opinion, but I have a right to mine as well. Right? That's how it works. You cannot really justify him saying Benavidez brings nothing to the table. That's just not true. I don't care how much of a diehard Canelo fan you are, or how much you dislike David Benavidez or his dad or Samson or like we got to put feelings over here, right? And we need to be real. Of course, Canelo's the A side by a mile. Okay, I don't even think David's a B side. Like if we want to be honest, but he does bring something to the table. To act like he's not bringing something to the table, right? Like one of them is organic perception, right? What does he bring to the table? He brings, right, the perception that he's a real threat to your reign. Now, I know people are going to say, well, that has nothing to do with business. But we're gonna tackle all fronts here. Okay? We'll tackle everything. Because at the end of the day, I'm a boxing fan. I need to address it from a boxing fan's perspective first. Is what I'm going to do. So what I'm saying is that perception, to me, is the reason people like Mike Tyson, a lot of the Mexican legends, a lot of boxing pundits, a lot of boxing fans, and even a lot of casuals, a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of people around the world want to see this fight. They want to see it because there's a feeling. And what I need you guys to do is your personal opinion about how the fight would be. You have to put it aside for a moment. You got to look at it from the perspective of the masses here, okay? Hear me out. That perception that that's a threat is what makes that fight. The idea of it. That's what sells it. So that is something. What a fighter brings inside the ring, his abilities, and the threat that he brings is, even if you personally don't think it'll be competitive, even if you think Canelo will destroy him, what you can't deny is that Canelo's energy is a little different when it comes to Benavidez than other guys. And I get a lot of that energy is tied to the accusations of ducking. It is tied to perhaps he doesn't see what the big fucking deal is about this guy, right? And maybe he's annoyed about it. I get that, but nonetheless, the energy is different. You cannot deny that. A lot of your energy is different when it comes to Benavidez. What else does he bring to the table? Right? Well, he is the mandatory. Right? He is the interim champion. That's something. Everybody brings something to the table. Everybody. Right? He may not have the biggest fan base. It's a little itty bitty little fan base, a little loud at times, but nonetheless, it's still, compared to most boxers, a pretty decent sized fan base he brings to the table. It's something. Look, I'm not saying it means he's the A side or something. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it is something. What does he bring to the table? A fight boxing fans, casual fans, and people want to fucking see. That's what he brings. Because without Benavidez' name, right? It's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? I don't eat pepperoni by itself. Do you guys eat pepperoni by itself? Or do you take out pepperoni, cook it, and just slice it and eat it like just by itself? I don't. But if I want pepperoni pizza, guess what I need? Guess what pepperoni brings to the table? It brings that ingredient that gives me pepperoni pizza. That's what it brings. So he may just be a slice of pepperoni, or that's fine. But he is needed to get me the best fight that could possibly be made at 168 pounds. I honestly believe, and I'm not alone in thinking this, that Benavidez is the biggest threat to Canelo at 168 pounds. That's what I believe. And you could tell me all day, you could sit all day and tell me, no, but if that fight happened, I would favor Canelo in that fight. Okay? This isn't me saying I think Benavidez could beat Canelo. However, fights are fights. Things happen in fights. And I haven't always been right. So what I'm saying is, in order to find out, they need to fight. Once you start saying things like he brings nothing to the table, then questions like, well, what did that guy bring to the table? What did he bring to the table? What about that other dude you fought? What did he bring to the table? I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I'm not going to sit here and ask that fighters stop waiting on Canelo, staying active, not fighting anybody, right? And hey, how about you make your own lane? Fight, and then what did he do? He fought Caleb Plant. Don't tell me Caleb Plant's not an impressive win. Canelo brought up Caleb Plant in his little rant. So don't tell me. And don't tell me he didn't knock out Plant. Well, guess what? Canelo didn't knock out Ryder and Mungia did. So what the fuck does that even mean? What does it even mean? I didn't like that response. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I didn't like it. I just didn't. I didn't like what he said. I didn't like him saying, no, I don't have to like it. Who the fuck? I'm nobody. I'm just a motherfucker with an opinion. Okay? That's all I am. But obviously, I got 60 people on YouTube and 159 on X listening to me. So obviously, some of you value my opinion somewhat, right? And all I'm telling you right now is that what does he bring to the table? He brings he is needed to make the fucking fight we want. Just like pepperoni's needed if I want pepperoni pizza. That's just the reality, guys. What's the most popular pizza? Pepperoni pizza. Pepperoni by itself? Oh, but pepperoni never sells. Okay, fine. I get that pepperoni by itself doesn't sell that well. I get it. That's what you guys do with Benavidez, right? Oh, it'll sell. I get it. But once you slice them up and you put them on a pizza, you got yourself some pepperoni pizza. And who doesn't love pepperoni pizza? I do. Right? And who doesn't love the best possible matchup? Because what I'm going to tell you guys is, are you boxing fans? Are you boxing fans or are you not? Do you want to see the best fight the best or not? Now, with all that said, I still firmly believe Canelo's going to fight Benavidez in September. I believe that. Okay? I really do. And the reason, because of all that thing, even though I didn't like what he said, the one thing he did say was, I remember when I fought Golovkin, the same thing. But what happened with Golovkin? He fought Golovkin. He did fight Gennady Golovkin. So I do believe he's eventually, in September, going to fight David Benavidez. All right? And all of this is going to be noise. But if he doesn't fight Benavidez, if Canelo fights somebody else in September, then let's hope that person brings something to the table. All right? Let's just hope. Now, another thing, because I'm seeing people say things like, and shout out to a lot of them are good people, and I just disagree with them here. I just do. Telling boxing fans, well, if you don't like Canelo's fighting, then don't watch. If he doesn't fight Benavidez, so what? I mean, it's his career. He deserves to fight whoever he wants. Like, I'm not that dude. Like don't look over here for fight whoever you want. That's not me. That hasn't been me since I've been in this shit. So I'm not like other people that change and they change their persona and one that's not me, brother. Like it is what I'll tell you how I feel. I don't give a fuck if I lose subscribers because of it. I don't care if people don't like me because of it. I just don't. I don't even care if people love me for it because I'm going to speak my mind. I'm telling you right now. I'm just saying. Like Mungia's like. I don't know. Kind of like pizza with like. Like a lot of people don't like this. I do. My favorite pizza is ham, like pizza with ham. But a lot of you are probably going to be like, what? Yeah, it's like the Mungia fights like the Hawaiian, like it has pepperoni. It has like ham and and pineapple. Some people love it, some people don't. Like that's what it's Hawaiian style pizza. You know what I mean? I like it. I think it's all right. That's good. But meat lovers, something like that. A lot of liver shots, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is, but no liver on pizza, though. I don't know about that. But like a 6-piece wings, there you go. I guess so. You know what I mean? He's oh, never mind. I thought I saw Chicano without a wrench, and I was like, what? But yeah, he does have a wrench. But the thing is this, man. If he doesn't fight Benavidez, if all you could say, like, don't count me in. If the response is, well, hey, you're going to watch whoever he's going to fight, and that's it. If you don't like it, don't watch. And you don't have to watch Canelo fight. Like, so what do you care? Like, I've never been a fan of that response. I've heard that since the days when I've been hearing that for a while, and it's always a go-to to defend the fight nobody wants to see. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not, I'm not in with that. I'm not that guy that, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. No, bro, I'm a boxing fan and I have a vested interest as a fan on who the best fighter in the sport's fighting. Like I like that matters to me. Okay. And like, why do you watch boxing? Do you watch boxing because you want to watch one guy succeed, or do you watch boxing because you love the sport? Maybe that's what separates me from other people, right? I get that guys earn their stripes and they're in an A-side position and they have more leverage than others. But at the end of the day, no, like you don't just like lay back and just take it, and whoever he fights, just take too bad. What do you mean? Like, no, bro. That ain't me. That ain't me. I ain't no senator's son. No. Right? If you want to like lay back and take it, you lay back and take it. But don't get mad when other people don't lay back and take it. All right? Ain't no way, bro. Like I'm just saying. I feel like he needs to. This is what I would have said. Like, this is just me. If I was in charge of PR or whatever, right? It's old when they ask you about Benavidez to say, look, I'm not looking past Mungia. I'm focused on Mungia. He's a tough competitor, a tough challenge. That's what I'm focused on. We'll see about Benavidez after this fight. That should have been the response. That's just me. That's easy. That's to the point. It's true. It's like you can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? But look, Canelo's like at the end of the day, Canelo's gonna be Canelo, and he said say what he wants. All right, it just is what it is. Luis Puente, how's it going? If David loses, will it still be the fight at 168? I still want to see it, but it will lose the interest of the fans. If David loses, of course it loses a lot of steam. It's still a big fight, but it would lose a lot of steam, like a lot. There's no doubt about that. Or they would have to rebuild it somehow. But a lot is said about look, Benavidez. Look, he gets outsold by Mungia in his own hometown. I've heard a lot of that. I've heard a lot of David Benavidez. He only did like 100,000 or less against Caleb Plant. He's not a big draw. And look, all that is true. I'm not disputing that, right? But that is not what makes the Canelo fight big. Okay? Let me put it this way. Juan Manuel Marquez only did 50,000 buys with Casa Mayor. That's it. Okay? But when he fought Floyd, it did over 1 million. That's more than Floyd did with Haddon. Okay? That's more than Floyd did with Maidana, with Berto. Just putting that out there. And when he fought Manny Pacquiao, he did. Like, him and Pacquiao, the third fight, did really good. Like 1 point something million. Like, it did really good. The fourth fight, over 1 million. I forgot what the fee. I think it was 300,000 with Bradley. Because it's a fight people wanted to see. Okay? That's just a reality. It's a fight people wanted to see. They wanted to see Manny Pacquiao. It wasn't the preferred fight, but they had a history. They had 2 good fights. And there you have it. Despite the fact that he didn't sell anything before. You know what I mean? Gennady Golovkin only did like 150,000, whatever it was, with Lemieux. He did abysmal numbers on pay-per-view. He wasn't doing the pay-per-view numbers Miguel Cotto was doing. But guess what? People believed Gennady Golovkin was a real threat to Canelo Alvarez. And that's why it did the 1.2, 1.3 million buys that it did. That's why it did 28 million at the gate. The Cotto fight did 900,000, short of $1 million. Still amazing numbers, but again, that's why you don't just look at it that way. Oh, well, he sells more than him, and he did more here, so therefore, no. What sells is the fights, and the fights that people want to see. It's just the way it is. I believe the fight will happen in September. I believe that. Call me delusional. You call me whatever you want. It's cool. But I believe it's happening. It has to happen. But if it doesn't happen, I don't care how many bad words Benavidez' dad said. I don't care how many lies were told from that side. Send him the offer, and let's get the fight done. That's the way I feel about it. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Big Dog Willie. I'm sorry, D-Style, but we compared Canelo to the greats. But Julio Cesar Chavez, Marcus Hearns, Hagler, Monson, De La Hoya, etc. pull this crap. This is bad. Well, you guys are assuming he's never going to fight Benavidez or something. I believe the fight's going to happen. Like, if we go by track record, it's going to happen. Like that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I still remember people saying he was never going to fight Golovkin. He won't fight Golovkin. It's not going to happen. And I said he will fight him. Oh, you watch, he won't fight him. And then he ended up fighting him. Right? So I believe he's going to fight him. Point blank. Like I believe he will fight him. Now, what does he bring to the table? Pressure. That's what he brings to the table. This, like, the questions are not going to stop. After, as expected, right? Shout out to a boxing historian. He's a huge fan of Canelo. Coward and Elho. I mean, like, I don't call fighters cowards, but hey, you have a right to your opinion. Canelo's definitely no coward. I'll tell you that right now. But what I will say is that I want to see this fight. I want to see the Benavidez. I want to see the Benavidez fight. I think it's the fight to make. I think Canelo wins the fight. I just don't think it's an easy fight. I know a lot of people are convinced that it is, and if it is, great, cool. You know what I mean? Like that's that's cool. But if he doesn't fight Benavidez in September, a lot of you guys can do the whole, if you don't like it, too bad. And I get it. You have a right to do that. You have a right to still watch it. Maybe it is a good fight that he fights in September. I don't know. But we got to get it done. You know what I mean? And look, and I get it. Of course, the Benavidez side's been called out by morale, and I don't see them in a rush to make that fight. Right? And I get it. But I could chew gum and walk at the same time. I can call out Canelo if he doesn't make this fight. At the same time, call out Benavidez for not fighting Morale after they said they were going to fight him. I could do both. Like people need to understand that, like, it's not like, well, if I say this, I got to say it about. No, like we could do it all around, baby. We will go around. Shout out to True Media Boxing Radio. Shout out to Coach Joe Lopez, 40 ounce, off the ropes boxing and MMA. Lee Groves on here. How's it going, Lee? If Canelo is to fight Benavidez, it would behoove him to do sooner rather than later because Canelo's age and ring wear won't get better with time. But Benavidez is still rising chronologically. Look, I don't, like you just said, Lee, I don't think Canelo's aging him out, obviously, unless he's aging himself out. But it's going to be very difficult to justify if the fight doesn't happen because, look, last year it was ridiculous to say it. Let's gonna be honest, right? Um, like it just was. But Benavidez did. See, I'm not a guy that moves the goalposts, guys. If I'm like, hey man, I want to see these guys go out there, man, like get some fights in. He went out there, he beat Plant, he beat Andrade, and you know what I mean? And to me, it's like, let's go. Okay, now we're talking. Not Lemieux, right? Now, one thing I will say is this, with all that said, I still wonder, like, what's going on with Benavidez fighting at 175 against Vojtik. Oh, man, I pronounced that so good. I deserve a thumbs up for that, okay? Vojtik, all right? He fought Vojtik. He's going to fight Vojtik, apparently, right? And according to Suleiman, I get that it's Suleiman. I get it, right? So I'm just a messenger. According to Suleiman, he requested to fight for the 175-pound belt for the interim belt. And after that fight, Suleiman says he's going to give him the option to pick, if he wins, to pick, does he want the 168-pound champion or the 175-pound champion, right? My question is, why? Why didn't you just order why didn't you just tell the WC to order the fight? Can anybody explain this to me? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, can anybody explain this to me? Why David Benavidez's team did this? Anybody? And that's what I would like to see Canelo say. Like, yeah, like if he wants to fight me so bad, well, why do you go fight Bostic? Why is he campaigning for that belt over there? He supposedly wants to fight me. That's what he should have said. Well, why is his dad lying that he didn't know that Reynoso was the manager of Bostic? What's going on? What's with lies, bro? Why you always lying? Why you fucking lying? Oh my God. Why you fucking lying? It's crazy. Could somebody explain this to me? Anybody? Now we have boxing historians saying that Canelo's like, no, bro, like, give me a break. Oh yeah, they're hype jobs. If Canelo's opponents are hype jobs, then who are everybody else's opponents? Canelo has the best resume in boxing, bro. Period. Like it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's. I'm not going to argue about that. We're not going to say things that aren't true. You know what I mean? We're not going to. It's like criticize Canelo about something doesn't mean now we have free reign. Just say ridiculous shit. It's that. I'm sorry. All right. But what the hell's going on over here? You know what I mean? Like Triple G was a media creation. Like, and this is the problem, historian, because Brian. The problem is that, and this is what Canelo's talking about. Like you are here because if he knocks out Benavidez later down the line, you're going to be saying Benavidez was a media creation and hype job. So we need to get back to business here. And about 2 years ago, I made a video asking people, tell me who you want to see Canelo fight, right? Some of them said the Charlo brothers. Some people said Jermell, believe it or not. Some people said Jamal. Some people said Benavidez. Some people said Plant. Some people said Better Beef. Some people said, like, all I know is, like, we have to be consistent here and stop moving the goalposts is what we need to start doing. Because what you're saying isn't making sense right now. If if who he beat are media creations, right? What the fuck is who Benavidez is beat? If Triple G was a hype job, what the fuck is Andrade? What the hell is Caleb Plant, who Canelo knocked out? Caleb Plant literally compared to Triple G. So how do you know that Benavidez is that dude then, Brian? He beat two really good opponents. Brian, what did Andrade do that was better than Triple G? Just explain this to me. Are you talking? Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Dawson? Who are you talking about? Now I like Ward, but to say he has a better resume than Canelo just isn't true. Which is why Ward is jealous of him. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If we're going to criticize Canelo, we're going to be realistic about it, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to be responsible with the words we say. I mean, we can't just make stuff up and, oh, yeah, he beat media creations and Triple G. I mean, if you want to say Triple G was overrated, that's one thing. But a media creation, nah, he wasn't a media creation. That's my opinion. So Benavidez is the Mexican monster based on what? Now, granted, I agree that Benavidez beat two really good opponents. But if the standard is that Triple G was overrated or a hype job or not good, and the guys Canelo's beating aren't good, right? In what world is who Benavidez beat good? That needs to be explained. You need to explain that. Just saying. You know what I mean? Well, we need to explain these things. I don't know. Well, Benavidez disagrees with you. Number one, he says Triple G was a great fighter, and he actually was a sparring partner for Triple G at one point. So I don't know. I'm not ready to say that. I think that's a lot of assumption right there. I think what's happening, I'm going to be honest with you, Brian, you just don't like Canelo, which is fine. You have your right not to like the guy, but when he say things like he hasn't beat anybody good and the guys he beat are hype jobs, but at the same time, Benavidez beat some really good opponents. I mean, there's a disconnect right there. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real with you. We've got to assess it a little bit. A little bit. You know what I mean? So if Andrade's really good, but Triple G isn't, who did Andrade fight before Benavidez? Who are the big names he fought? I just want one name. Vanes Martirosyan? The guy Triple G destroyed in a couple of rounds? Who's the dude that Andrade fought that made you say, yeah, that guy? So I'm just going to be honest with you, right? Just put it out there, right? We're going to keep it even Steven here. This is a no spin zone right here, right? Not that I want to be like O'Reilly, but all I'm saying is we're going to keep it real over here. We got to keep it real. Context in criticisms matter, right? With all that said, David Benavidez, Saul Canelo Alvarez is the fight to make, not because Canelo's a hype job and like all that is nonsense. Okay, the fight needs to happen because it's the best fight to make, and once again, they're the two best in the weight class. That's why the fight needs to happen. Any criticism outside of that is ridiculous. I'm sorry. You cannot on one hand say, yeah, he hasn't fought anybody, he's a hype job. But Benavidez, his opponents have been amazing. We can't do that. I'm sorry. We just can't. I'm sorry. All right. So at the end of the day, we're gonna get the Mungia fight. I think it's a solid fight. Looking forward to it. And it's gonna be a good fight, by the way, while it lasts. Or it might go the full distance. We'll see. And after that, we'll keep it moving. We're gonna have a lot more to say as the weeks come on. Right? We're gonna have a lot of things to say. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. I want to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in. Whether you agree or disagree, remember you have a right to your opinion. But so do I, and I'm the one with the mic. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? I want to thank everybody once again. I'm out. And I think that's all I got, man. You know. As far as who has a better resume, Canelo or Andre Ward, what I'll say is this, right? I personally, I would have liked to have seen Andre Ward have fought Adonis Stevenson at 175. I would like him to have fought Dawson at 175 and not drain Dawson down, because he was drained in that fight. And Andre Ward can't talk shit about Canelo winning controversial decisions when he literally won a controversial decision where he was dropped against Kovalev the first time. So, like, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? We'll go ahead and leave it at that. This is the style of boxing. Keep it boxing. We are out of here, and I'll leave you with
his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, wearing black with white, also weighing in at 167.6 pounds. In his professional career, 54 victories, including 36 big wins by knockout, only one defeat with 2 draws, and he's undefeated for 6 years, and considered by many to be, pound for pound, the best in the world. He's the former 2-time light middleweight world champion, former middleweight world champion, former light heavyweight world champion, the reigning, defending super middleweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México.